Hello, socialites, and welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
And me, Gaspare Randazzo.
Oh, we are having a time over here. We're having a time, and I'm going back on the road. Coming up, I'm going to be in Irvine, San Jose, Sacramento, Charleston, Charlotte, Boston, New York, Winnipeg, Atlantic City, Newark, Portland, Maine, Toronto, Chicago, and Atlanta. Also doing my straight friends in LA, Seattle, Nashville, my straight friends, and Nashville. Get your tickets at thejoedombrowski.com. I want to see y'all there.
At my stray friends.
At my straight friends.
So I will be, this weekend I'll be in Nashville, Atlanta, Staten Island, Freehold, New Jersey, Austin, Dallas, Columbus, Cincinnati, Allentown, Grantville, Pennsylvania, Raleigh, Rochester, Manasquan, Poughkeepsie, San Diego, Arizona, a few other places maybe coming up. Get your tickets at GaspareRandazzo.com.
Wait,
All
pause,
right.
quick pause.
Yes.
Quick pause. When did San Diego get added to the list?
Yeah, recently.
Oh, wait. Holy shit. I just had, I'm pretty sure, a stroke or early onset dementia. You said San Diego, but in my head, I was thinking Sandusky, and I was going to ask you if you were going to go to Cedar Point.
Oh.
While you're in San Diego, but Cedar Point's in Sandusky. Okay.
Sandusky's
anyway,
in where? Ohio?
Ohio. I'm having a day. Honestly, Gaspar, this is too much time off, I think.
Yeah, you're losing it. Thank God you have a show.
I'm losing it, but I'm also like not being productive. Like I told you, pressure makes diamonds, and there's no pressure right now.
I find like I could churn out like 40 videos a week when I'm in the school year. Once like the summer comes, I'm like, oh, I have all the time in the world. I'll film later. I'll film tomorrow. I'll film. But like during the school year, I'm like, oh, I'm home. I got to film. Got to do this. Got to do that. Got to do, you know. We already dropped the kids off at camp, we did a food shop for 2 hours. Like we've had a super productive morning and I'm not recording at 9:00 at night right now, guys. So you're getting fully energized me, not the tired version.
Fully energized Jasper Janjazlo.
So we asked our Patreon members, which you too could become a Patreon member at
Patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast.
So we asked our Patreon members just as something for fun. We were thinking it would be cool if we recorded an episode purely based on what people want to know, hear about, talk about. So we said, hey, tell us literally any topic that you want to discuss. Nothing's off limits. Don't, be crazy. We don't really care. We can talk about anything. So we're going to read some of these topics now. And here we go, Joseph. So the first one is worst date experiences. This is from Kara. Worst date experiences.
I've told you.
Is the one where you went to the guy's house and the door was open and he was a murderer?
I'll give you a brief. Okay.
Or give us another one then.
No, well, this is the one.
Okay. So then that's cool. Repeat a story.
Wow, dick. Okay. It's okay. Okay. I'll give you another one too.
No. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I don't even remember it, and you told it to me. So
okay, I'm going to take out some details for time. Anyway, I was young. Okay, I want to just preface this, you guys.
32.
That the older I get, the more I realize how I thought I had my shit together when I was in my 20s, and like reflecting back on whoever the hell that person was. Wow, was he an idiot? And now I look at people in their 20s, like out in the wild, and I'm just like, how are you doing it? Like,
they're not.
You think you're an adult and you're just so not. Well, you are, but you're like not. Gaspar, the shit I did, I can't even begin to tell you. Anyway, I met some guy. We were talking, blah, blah, blah. We were supposed to go on a date. We had it set up at a restaurant. It didn't work out. Well, I was on my way to the restaurant. When I was on my way to the restaurant, he texted me and he's like, yo, I got tied up with some shit. I'm still at my house getting ready. Why don't you just meet me at my house and we'll go from my house to the restaurant. I live right by it. And Gaspar, I didn't even have a second thought. I was just like, this is logical. Let's do it.
But it is logical.
It's sure, but being the Dateline addict that I am now.
What happens to 1 out of thousands?
You know who it's never going to happen to? Me. Morgan and I had to do a life insurance policy recently, and I just said to him once we did it, I was like, just so you know, this is not enough money to justify killing me. Because everybody kills their person over a life
Well,
insurance
now that mine's
policy.
officially gone through, and I got
Yes.
like the highest rating of health you can have after they did my blood and my everything. They gave me the highest rating, and it went through. I was like, that's it. Like, I am now officially worth more dead than alive.
You better hope to God those life insurance people don't catch wind of this podcast.
There's nothing to catch wind of. Goodbye. Keep going.
Okay. So 20 whatever year old me, I must have been 21, like maybe 22. I'm like, sure, let's go. And I go to his house, and it's in like a fine neighborhood, nothing great. And then like his house was like all the way in the back of this neighborhood, and I saw the houses kept getting like shittier and shittier, and then it was just like the street lights were out by the time I got to his house, and there was like really no houses around his, and all the lights were, it was just a mess. So I'm like, oh well, this is his house, whatever, I'm not going to judge. So I park my car, I go walk up to his front porch, and I went to knock on the door, and it was like kind of open a little bit already. So I was like, knock, 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 waited. Then I did a knock, 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 hello. And then I like knock, 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 it swings open a little bit more. And I'm like, hello, hey, I'm here, like trying to make my presence known. And so now I'm in like the foyer of this guy's house. And to my left was a dirty, disgusting kitchen, which, can we just talk about, quick segue?
Like, he knew you were coming over.
Do you know how many people live in filth and disgust? Do you ever go to people's houses and you're just like, never thought it was you? I never thought it would be you.
Yes. 100%.
It is wild what people tolerate in their living quarters.
Or like just like hoarding things. Like just like a table just like stacked with like encyclopedias and like headphones and just like random items that it's like should just be put somewhere, but instead it's just stacked on a table. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, yeah, or like I don't know why this bothers me, but like someone has their TV on a media stand, and like every ounce of the top of that countertop is filled with shit, like stacks of DVDs in the Kleenex boxes and just like tons of shit. I'm like, clear the shit. Get one with cabinets underneath so you don't got to see that shit. I don't know. I was just like, Jesus Christ. So this is another one of those. I'm talking Gaspare. This time, though, it was like dishes up to the sink tip. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was a.
Maybe there was a lot of people who lived in the house.
There wasn't.
All right. Anyway, that's great. All right. Let's kick it over to our sponsors real quick.
Listen, you guys, I love a deal just as much as anyone else, but I'm not going to lie to you. When it gets too complicated to follow through, you got to be on hold for a while. You got to put a bunch of numbers in. You got to give them your social security and a DNA sample. No, I'm not having it. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to follow through. Listen, Mint Mobile told me it was easily to go wireless for $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan. So I took them up on it. And let me tell you what. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. They got an easy to use website. It's easy to activate your purchase, all of that. To get started, go to mintmobile.com/social studies. And there, right there, you will see all 3-month plans, only $15 a month, including the unlimited plan. And all plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk to text that are delivered by the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with you. So, already easy with that, too. Find out how easy it is when you switch to Mint Mobile to get a 3-month premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/social studies. That's mintmobile.com/social studies. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/social studies. Quick disclaimer, $45 upfront payment is required, which is the equivalent to a $15 per month plan. New customers only for the first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions do apply. See mintmobile.com for more details. The date was over before it started, just from that nasty kitchen alone. Anyway, I get in his house and I turned to the left and that was the kitchen. And I was like, all right, I'm going to let it slide. And then I
You had a
turned to
lot
the,
slide on this date before you went in.
you know what? Thinking about that too. Also, it like very much smelt like weed in the house too, which first of all, no secret to the socialites. I'm no stranger to the devil's lettuce and I'm totally cool with it, obviously, right? But my thing is like even being a little bit of a stoner boy, I never used to go to like first meetings with people high. I would never like get high and go on a date, period.
Yeah, but see, like, and I don't really even consider you like a stoner though.
I'm not. I'm not a
I don't.
stoner.
I
I just
actually have
enjoy.
never even seen you smoke.
Right.
And it's not like you're like smoking all the time that you like need it, you know?
Right. And the thing is too is that like I've always had a very good relationship with weed where it was like I never use it to cope with anything and I only do it recreationally and in smaller typically. There's been some times or not, but typically in smaller doses. And I never do it in times when I can't. And when I was like getting to know, it's not like I come out and I'm like, you want to smoke? I'm always like, I got to get to like know people a little bit and then like after a while, I'll be like, yo, I'm going to like take an edible and like get giggly while we watch this. Cool. You know what I mean? Like we've already established a relationship,
Yeah.
you know? But I walked in and it like smelled like weed. And I was like, weed has been smoked in this house recently, like within the past however many hours, like this guy is high. So that's like strike 2 already. But strike 3 was insane. I turned to my left and it's this guy's kitchen dining room. And every single dining room table had a mannequin sitting at it, like with clothes and wigs, like in an eating position. And there was like one open seat at the table. And I was like, hell no. And I fucking hightailed it right out of there. And I was like, no way. Got right back to my car and called my friend Zach immediately.
Did he answer you?
No.
Like, did you guys ever talk again?
I either blocked him right away or just like ignored all communication from them on forward. I honestly don't even remember the guy's name.
What's crazy is like, all right, he was probably going to kill you. But like, if he didn't kill you, like, did he think you were going to come in and be like, oh, this is kinky shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you have all those mannequins up, set up around a table and you're eating with them. That's not, unless like he was a filmmaker and he was making a film. I don't know.
Like stop motion or some shit.
One time we had like we were like, I told you we were like landlords in Pennsylvania. And we had this house that we used to use when we would go up. Like when we would go up, we would stay in this house to collect rent and do work. And one day my dad, I used to drive up like Friday nights at like 9:00 at night. I would get there 11:00 at night, this house in the middle of Pennsylvania. One day my dad put all around the table Chucky dolls. He bought like the life-size Chucky dolls and put them all around the table so it looked like they were eating. So when I opened the lights in the house at 11:00 at night, I like had a heart attack. I was like, what is wrong? And he was hysterical laughing. All right, I'll tell you my worst date. It's not really it wasn't a date. I was a bartender in Coney Island and I met this girl one night when I was bartending and we just like hit it off. We were just talking back and forth. She was like, oh, I'd love to see you again tomorrow. I was like, all right, cool. We exchanged numbers. We texted a little. I took her to the movies, went to see Borat before my shift. Like I was bartending the next night. I picked her up. I picked her up from her house. She didn't speak English.
Wait, what?
She spoke very, very little English. She only spoke Spanish.
How did she muster up, come pick me up at this time and this is my address?
She texted that to me.
Like using like
I don't know, but like I guess like she was able to text it. And when I like picked up, she like barely spoke any English. And I was like, oh, okay. So like we just like hung out and then like that was it. But
wow.
We saw Borat together. I don't know if she enjoyed it. There's a lot of physical comedy in that movie.
Yeah.
The other thing is one time I went to a date with this girl, but I was using a knife to cut. And the whole table was shaking because I don't know how to properly cut. I had to go to the bathroom really bad, right? And I was like, I'll be right back. So I went to the bathroom and I like had to go. I was like in there for a while because I really didn't feel well. I was like 19 at the
Yeah.
time and I felt bad. I was like, oh my God, this girl's gonna like be like, where the hell is he? I thought about like pulling the fire alarm, just be
Oh
like,
no.
what? What happened? So then when I came out, because I was in the bathroom for so long, I was like, oh my God, I ran into a friend and like I had to like make up this whole story. It was just like a bad like idea, whatever. It wasn't like a bad date. It was just I was in the bathroom for a long time. And the third thing that it reminded me of when you were talking about the door being open, did I ever tell you how I passed my master's? I had to write an 100-page paper as my final assignment for my master's to become a teacher. The day it was due was like May 10th, right? Or whatever. My
Yeah.
grandma passed away that day. So she didn't pass away that day. Her wake was that day. So I emailed the professor and I was like, hey, listen, my grandma passed away. I'm not coming to the class tonight to drop off the paper, but I had to get it binded. I had to go to Staples and actually get it binded because it was so many
Really?
pages. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to get it to you. And he's like, no problem. Can you just drop it off at my house? I need it by tonight. So I went to my grandma's wake
Wild.
and I'm driving home and I stopped by the guy's house, right? So I go
Yeah.
up the steps and his door is just wide open. And I was like, oh my God, like, am I gonna have to sleep with this guy? Like, so I'm like, so I didn't want to just like leave it in his mailbox because then I was like, what if someone steals it? You know what I mean? I was like, what if someone
Yeah.
steals it? I wanted to make it known that I was there. So I was like, like coughing. And then I like put it in the mailbox. And he comes to the door and he's just in a robe, just drinking a cup of coffee. And he's like, oh, sorry about your grandma. Not,
What?
he wasn't like a sexual way at all. He was just like,
Sure.
didn't give a shit. Like he was just drinking a coffee. He's like, sorry about your grandma. He's like, it'll be great by the time you get home. I was like, okay. I drove home. I lived 10 minutes away. I had an A+ on the website because like they clearly didn't read it. You know what I mean? He just needed me to write 100 pages. And what's he going to do? Give me a bad grade after my grandma just died? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I have one more bad date story. I'll never forget. I was this bartender was super cute, and I remember being like, oh, I'd definitely like go on a date with him. And like I was like, that was like all I thought about it. But by the end of the night, he put his phone number underneath a drink, like of a napkin. And I was like, cool. And then we were texting, whatever. We planned a date. We were planning on meeting up, and then went like full on radio silence, just like straight up never heard from him again. And I was like, all right. And then like months later, I'm watching the news, and it's like his mugshot. And apparently he was like embezzling hundreds and thousands of dollars from that bar for years. Yeah.
that would have been a good, that would have been a good joke if you were with him still.
Could you imagine? Yeah, no, wasn't, unfortunately. All right, next.
All right.
But he would have done, I bet he would have maybe not have been in prison still if he went to therapy.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. And I bet he was probably stealing. He probably had a reason for his stealing. And maybe he just needed a friend. Maybe he just needed to talk to someone about it. And you know what really could have helped him? The
Tell
fact that this episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. And the best way to get what you want out of life is to stop focusing on everybody else. Like who's making money at the bar? Who's embezzling money at the bar? Who's trying to go on dates but then gets arrested for embezzlement? You need to just start living your life now. And you could start living with BetterHelp. It's 100% online therapy that's designed to be super convenient, flexible, and suited to your busy schedule. Whether you're a bartender, a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, I don't know any other jobs, but if you're any of those jobs or more, it can help. So BetterHelp does video sessions, phone calls, and has their own messaging platform. So you could pick the time, whatever you're most comfortable with. Look, someone like him, you know, maybe they're stealing, they got a lot going on. Really, therapy could have helped him. Therapy helps so many people. I see it with a lot of people. I see a lot of people in my family go to therapy. A lot of people that I know use therapy. And it works because you don't always just need to hear the answers that you want to hear from your friends. Sometimes you need to bounce it off of somebody else that's not related to you that's going to tell you what you want to hear. So just to get started, all you have to do is fill out a quick survey. They'll look at your answers and match you up with a licensed therapist who's a great fit for you. If you don't love their pick, don't stress. You could change therapists at any time for free. So stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp.com. Visit BetterHelp.com/social studies today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/social studies. So, all right, Joe, this next one is an interesting one. This is a good one. I like it. My husband and I were this from Tanner. My husband and I were brainstorming. Gaspar should give us a history lesson on homosexuality throughout the ages. Ancient aliens and belief in aliens, thoughts on Bigfoot, Taco Bell. All right, let's start with homosexuality throughout the ages. I'm not going to lie. You probably know more about this than me. Do you? I don't know.
Homosexuality throughout the ages?
Yeah, but I'm going to assume it's been going on forever. They know that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to assume that even like the cavemen, it wasn't a thing. They probably were just like, you tug this. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, everyone's just pulling and prodding at each other. I don't think it was a thing. I know the ancient Greeks were big into it. I know the Romans were big into it. There was a lot of Roman emperors that had a lot of men with them. Alexander the Great's father, one of the beliefs is that the person who killed him was like his soldier who was his like side lover. That's like a theory. So like homosexuality has been going on forever. And
aren't there like Greek plates with like pictures of it and stuff?
That's what I'm saying. The Greeks were very big into it. And I believe it's still going on today. I don't know.
So what's the question?
They just wanted me to, it wasn't a question, it was just a topic. They wanted me to give the history on homosexuality throughout the ages.
And if you want to give us a topic, you can too at patreon.com/the social studies podcast. Now, if there's anything that I know and believe about gay, one thing is the Kinsey scale. I truly believe that it is a scale.
What's the Kinsey scale?
Some like sexologist or something, Kinsey, I don't even know his first name. I want to say Albert, if I'm right. Alfred, I was close. So the Kinsey scale is a scale of like a homosexuality rating, and it's basically the theory that like no one's like fully like all straight, or you can be. You're either like all straight or you're all gay, which is super rare, but like everybody's like somewhere in the Kinsey scale. So
should I take it right now?
A 0 is exclusive. I don't think there's a test about it.
It is.
Like,
it is.
There is. Well,
yeah,
a 0 is
from 0 to 6.
exclusively. Yeah. 0 is exclusively heterosexual and 6 is exclusively homosexual. But like everything else is like in there, and like those are the most common. So I am a firm believer of the Kinsey scale, and I really do think that like over time, because of various religions becoming the dominant like people of the world and like conquering and colonizing and all that too, that homosexuality as a whole was just so looked down upon and oppressed that people just like were so ashamed of it and persecuted because of it, that you don't have like people exploring homosexual relationships as much as like it historically has been and innately is as humans. Like, I really do think that like I know a handful of straight guys who I firmly believe are like mostly straight, but sometimes just like want a hole in a heartbeat. And they're just like, I'll like do some shit with some guy. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But
no, I know.
But on the other hand, people are like, yeah, that's gay. And it's like, well, No, because like I do that same activity that they're partaking in, but the difference between me and them is like I do not ever want to do it with a woman, and like they predominantly want to do it with women. So that, you know what I mean? It's not like gay. It's like
So
something.
I think that like the ancient Greeks, it was very like fluid. Like it was just kind of like, you're here, I'm
Sure.
here. Like
Right.
whoever, you know, it's only as
Like
time
I'm
went
horny,
on.
let's go. Right.
Yeah, like as time went on, they started like persecuting people for it.
Right.
But I'm going to assume that the first people were just kind of like you said, it was like
just like kind of like fucking.
you're here, I'm here. Let's just hang out.
Like get
All
off.
right.
Yeah.
I just pulled up the Kinsey scale. It is a test. Should I
Okay.
take it and see if I'm gay?
Sure. Like, yeah, read me the questions.
All right. So when attending a social event, you notice an attractive person across the room. Which
Interesting.
gender of the person is more likely to capture your attention? Only the opposite gender, both the opposite and same, only the same gender.
Only the same.
See, that's a hard one because, like, if I went to a room, if there's a great looking guy, I can acknowledge, like, oh, that's a good looking guy.
But what's the question?
Yeah, I guess it's like what catches your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Only the opposite.
Right.
Oh, but yours is only the same. Well, obviously.
Right. Okay,
Imagine
is there
your
points that we're getting as we answer these?
It's
or
just
what?
it says I have to take the test and then it'll tell me if I'm gay.
Okay.
Right after you take it, you gotta go blow somebody. Imagine your favorite celebrity crush. Have you ever found yourself daydreaming or fantasizing about someone of the same gender as you, even if it's just as a moment? No.
Yes, all the time.
No. Yes, all the time is one. You're watching a romantic movie. The main couple shares a passionate kiss. Have you ever caught yourself imagining what it would be like to kiss someone of the opposite gender of you?
No.
Yes. I don't imagine what it's like to kiss them. Honestly, like if a guy, this is gonna sound, it's not in a homophobic way.
I get what you're getting. Yeah.
If I'm watching a movie and a guy, like the thought of kissing the guy, his mustache is rubbing against mine, that sounds horrible to me. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with
you
that.
guys. Can I tell a story about you right quick?
I'm gonna get canceled.
One time we were walking out of this bar after a show. We were walking out of this bar, and these two guys were like bragging about having an OnlyFans and a gay Twitter and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, here it is," or whatever. And Gaspar's like, "Ugh." And he's like, no. He's just like, there's just so much hair.
No. You backtrack. They were showing it on their phones. They were showing us what they were, that they had made a porno together or something on this Twitter that was for gay people. And they were like, oh, look. And then they showed it. And I was like, oh, I just wasn't expecting. It was so hairy. That's not what I've ever seen before.
Like so much
it was
hair.
Just crazy.
Hilarious. It was hilarious reaction. I will never forget it.
Reflecting on past experiences, have you ever shared a special moment or intimate connection with someone of the same gender as you?
Yeah, I'm married to him.
No. Well, I mean, like I've had a connection, like we're friends, but I didn't have an intimate connection.
I've never had an intimate connection with a woman ever.
And I never had one with a guy. And I have no interest because the hair. But like, think about your first love. Have you ever had a meaningful connection with someone of the opposite gender as you? Yes. All right. No. This seems like I'm going to assume I'm probably not gay.
Also, this is the same question, just like
it's literally just like, have you ever had a romantic relationship with someone of the same gender? No. Have you ever
and the
thought
last
about
question's
it?
Going to be like, have you sucked cock?
All right. How do you identify heterosexual? Up, and I came up as 0 on the scale. Exclusively heterosexual. I recognize and respect the diversity of sexual orientation, and I empathize with others who are going through different experiences.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
all
now
right.
you know.
They said I could visit a local LGBTQ community and talk to people about it.
No, don't.
I'll just keep doing the podcast.
Community.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep doing the podcast. Remember when I went in LA? I think I told you that story when I was walking through LA And I was like, oh, this building's so nice. It was like all bad buildings and all bad people. So I found this like nice building. I was like,
bad people.
no, like the streets were just like criminals. And I was like, I found a nice building and I was leaning on and I was like, let me call an Uber. Everybody walking in was so friendly. It was like the friendliest people I ever met. And then when I called the Uber, I realized I was standing at the LGBTQ center in LA. And I was like, oh, that's why everybody was so nice. They were like, welcome. I'm like, thanks. I'm new to California. I'm just like smiling, talking to everybody. All right.
Come on in. Take your pants off.
All right. Belief in aliens. 100%.
I don't know that I believe in aliens, but there's two things that I believe. One, I think, oh God, I hate when you and I get on space.
Go ahead.
It freaks me out. Okay. If you look at a picture of like the, like, I don't know, the galaxies, there's so many galaxies out there, and all the galaxies have so many solar systems and so many universes and so many planets and so many that we have no idea even exist and are. It just like keeps going forever. And like to think that we, Earth, are the only planet with like intelligent life is just
unintelligent.
Nonsensical. It is nonsensical. I do believe that technology is growing at the most rapid rate that it ever has. So I think we're probably like on the cusp of discovering some shit. What it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's like tall, lanky, green people with huge eyes that we come in peace and shit like that. But I think that there's like something going on out there. You can't be naive to that. And I also think that there's probably like galaxies out there that like have the same molecular makeup that we have on Earth that we could probably like join with or whatever.
But like what's wild is we haven't even explored our galaxy.
We haven't even explored the depths of our oceans.
Galaxies. But you know what I'm saying?
We're discovering new animals like all the time.
But that's the crazy part. Like there's billions of galaxies. We're one galaxy. We didn't even explore our galaxy. How could we think there's nothing? All right, this is a hot topic for another day, I think.
Another day. Another bowl.
All right. Belief in Bigfoot.
No.
Yeah. I don't really think he's
only because he lives in the forest. If he lived in the ocean, I'd be like, sure.
Well, all right, what about the Loch Ness Monster then?
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think it's the Loch Ness Monster, but I think there is like something probably that people often see or whatever. There recently whale. Hold on.
I know what you're gonna say. I think with the orca,
rare ass whale.
Oh,
it's called a mysteriously dead whale recently washed up on the beaches of New Zealand. Belonged to the world's rarest cetacean species, the spade-toothed whale, which are so elusive they have actually never actually been seen alive. And it just in 2024 they find this thing. Like, hello. Yes, there's shit down there that we don't even know.
Wait, so in 2024, they found this thing and it's never been seen alive
They found
before?
it like last week, Gaspare.
Yeah, like, see, like, that's nuts.
Yeah. So, like, they knew that this whale was, like, probably out there, and now they, like, see it.
So, it's kind of then the same way.
Which is, like, weird, because I'm looking at a picture right now of a spade-toothed whale, like, jumping out of the water. So, like, how old is this picture? And
also, it's, like, not that rare looking.
It's like,
I've never seen one.
It looks
He's
like
just like a thin whale.
No, it looks like a dolphin with an eating problem.
No, it's a whale on Ozempic.
No, it's not on Ozempic. This is the fattest dolphin I've ever seen in my life.
No, it's the Ozempic whale.
Ozempic
you're right.
would mean they got skinny.
It's more like dolphin-esque. Anyway.
Yeah.
And what's your Taco Bell order? I don't know. I haven't eaten Taco Bell in years. Do you know what just came up as the #1 fast food chain in America?
Tell me right now in this moment. Hold on. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that you did that leads me to believe that It's not what you would think.
It's not Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A's
McDonald's.
Chick-fil-A has been it for the last few years.
Chick-fil-A. Okay, hot take coming at you right quick, and I'm gonna lose fans and followers by saying this, and I literally don't care because the world needs to hear the good book of the Lord. Gaspare, Chick-fil-A is not good. Like these people. First of all,
only eaten it once. It wasn't that great. I didn't find it.
People are brainwashed. It's not good. It's actually bland. And people are like, oh my God, Chick-fil-A sauce. They might as well put that in the baptismal pools. That church, it's so good. It's not. Chick-fil-A sauce is the blandest mayo with a dash of seasoning that I've ever had in my life. Chick-fil-A is bad, everybody. You're buying into dumb hype that makes you believe it's good. It's not that good. It's not good. It's actually not good.
Once.
Straight up, it's not good.
It was a chicken sandwich. It wasn't like, it didn't like change my life.
It's a bad chicken sandwich. Full stop. There's no more to be said.
All right. So the number one fast food restaurant right now, or on a restaurant.
Hold on. Don't tell me. No, hold on. I'm not done. Can we play?
You're never going to guess it.
Let's play 20 questions. Okay. Is it like a burger place?
No.
Is it a taco Mexican place?
Yes. Now your options are slim.
Well, here's a other question. Do you consider like Qdoba and Chipotle fast food?
Yeah.
Is it either one of those?
No, it's not one of those either.
Okay, and it's a Mexican fast food place.
Mm-hmm. They don't have them in New York. But we don't really have Chick-fil-A's in New York either.
Is it Taco Time?
No, I never
they
heard
have
of
those
that.
here. I just had that for the first time recently.
It was something called
not great. Yeah.
Del Taco?
Yeah, we have those here too. We didn't have them in Michigan or Chicago either. But yeah. They're here.
That's number
one.
Mm-hmm. Also, okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I went to Subway yesterday. I love Subway. Subway's my favorite restaurant outside of Applebee's.
Subway bread is equivalent to yoga mat foam, apparently.
In a good way or a bad way?
Oh, in a very not good way, Gaspare Randazzo.
Why? It's bad for you? I thought Subway was the good for you. Whatever. Anyway, Subway.
Hold applause, please, before you have a cardiac arrest before my very eyes. Do not be blinded by the faux that is Jared. Subway is not health food. It's not good for you. It's garbage.
Not bad
it's trash.
For you, though.
Gaspare.
I knew someone who worked in Subway, though. She did say that the ingredients were not always fresh.
None of it is fresh.
Well, I mean, some of it. I love Subway. I don't care. Anyway, they now have
let's tell that to your life insurance auditor.
They now have they now sell a foot-long cookie. Did you hear me?
Okay. Let's back this up for a second. Excuse me. I'm speaking.
$5.
You want to tell... Pardon. You want to tell me that a restaurant that sells a foot-long cookie for $5 is a healthy restaurant?
Well, I mean...
I'm done. I rest my case. Let the jury speak.
Do you consider Wendy's healthy?
Gaspare. The fact that you're asking me, I want to throw my computer out the fucking window.
Always fresh, never frozen.
Just because something's fresh doesn't mean it's healthy when they dunk it in sizzling lard.
All right, it doesn't matter. Forget that. Listen, at Subway, they now offer chimichurros. This is not an ad for Subway. I just was in shock. They sell chimichurros. They sell this garlic cheesesteak. It was so good. That's what I got. She goes, oh, we now put Doritos Puffs on it to give it a little extra crunch. So I got that. And then I put olives on it, of course, for a little salad. And then it was great. I personally find Subway good. I know it got expensive. Like it's $13. I could just go to a deli and get a real hero for $12. But whatever. Something about Subway I just really enjoy. And then
something about Subway too, by the way. What is it about Subway that every time you go into a Subway, you leave Subway smelling like shit? That's crazy.
I feel so bad for the employees because she just lives in that smell.
Just going home smelling like fucking red onions for the next month.
I had a student. Oh my God, this is disgusting. He worked in Chipotle.
Oh no, please.
He worked in Chipotle. He would bag his clothes because he's like, if I brought them into my house, they stink so bad from like they smell like the grease. So he put them in a bag and then he would wear them to work. Like they were like his Chipotle clothes. And one time he left them in the class and we didn't know.
Still didn't wash them.
And we opened the bag because we were like, oh, someone left something. We opened the bag and it was like, we got like it was like getting hit in the face with the fucking grease. Also, there's a restaurant in Memphis, I think, and they still, Briars. I don't know where I'm just getting this information from, but they still use the same grease from the 1800s. They've never changed out the grease.
That can't be true.
Yeah.
The 1800s Gaspare
restaurant.
You're going to look it up. It's going to be like, we changed the grease yesterday. This can't be true.
Same grease.
This can't be true. I love how you come at me with.
How did I know this?
Shut the hell up. What are you talking about?
I said Briars. It's Dyers. And it's in Memphis, Tennessee. I said Nashville.
You said Memphis.
I did. Damn. My memory I'm like an elephant. They have been using the same cooking grease for almost a century. The restaurant's founder, Elmer Doc Dyer, opened the cafe. Founder. Oh. He founded the restaurant.
You said the restaurant's founder.
Founder. He opened the cafe in 1912, developed a secret cooking process that involves cooking the burgers in a skillet filled with grease. The grease is strained daily to remove particles and then seasoned. The grease is safe to eat because it's the same molecules from 1912.
Can I be real with you? Listening to you read this is going to give me diarrhea. Like
it's ageless grease. They're cooking the.
If you guys can see Gaspar's face right now, go watch this on YouTube. This is like a boy who just discovered Santa. Like, what are
we strain it and then see? Oh my God, these burgers look so good. So,
goddamn. Okay, what is it? What's it called?
Dyers. Dyers. What is
it? A burger or what is it?
It's just burgers. They look just greasy as hell.
Oh my God. Gaspare, what the, again, flagging the life insurance auditor. Just so everyone knows what we're looking at. Oh my God. Did you see the 100-year-old grease that they cook these burgers in? Yeah. You guys, these burgers and hot dogs apparently look like they're straight up deep fried. This, I would take one bite of this, Gaspare, and I would shit out not only all the contents of my stomach, but I'm pretty sure every ounce of my intestines would fly out of my asshole.
My parents went. They said it was really good. This guy put it.
Oh, this looks unbelievable. Like this should come with the life insurance policy. This guy is insane.
Put the burger patties in between two Pop-Tarts.
Have you ever had a Juicy Lucy before?
No, what is that? That sounds
Sam
like I have to take
these to my life. Okay, I gotta stop hating on these because Juicy Lucy. A Juicy Lucy is a Minneapolis thing.
Okay,
and it's where they take two burger patties and put them together, but they put cheese in the middle. So it's
the opposite.
Like while they cook it, that cheese gets all melty and crazy. When you take a bite of this thing, it just like oozes and drips cheese out the sides. It's amazing. Again, will make you shit your pants for sure. Which honestly, if you have diarrhea after eating a greasy burger, did you really get the calories? Jury's out. But Sam and I went and got these things.
Once you go to the bathroom, your calories reset.
Everyone was like, careful. Hold on, I can get the name of the place.
Oh, I remember he posted it online. One of you posted it, like cutting into it. And it was just oozing everywhere.
Yeah, it's called. Oh, we went to something called Matt's Bar. Everyone's like, careful when you eat it. Blah 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 blah. When I tell you that if you looked inside my mouth right now, the scar tissue from this day is probably at least 1 inch thick. It's not a joke.
I'm looking at it now.
They might have they should call these burgers a Pompeii explosion in your mouth and then your asshole, because it is the hottest scalding liquefied cheese that you've ever endured in your existence.
But is it It's just regular cheese, right? They're not using some like fake nacho cheese.
Oh, no. It's just like it's melted because it's hot, not melted because
Oh,
it's like
gotcha.
genetically
No, this looks
disgusting.
delicious.
It
But
is.
it's essentially just a cheeseburger.
It is essentially just a cheeseburger, but I don't know what it is, Gaspar. But like, damn, it is. Whew, baby, with a good burger for sure. I love that. I would eat another one, and I want another one right now.
All right, here's a good one. Wow, guys, as usual, we've gotten through 3 of these, but we'll do this again next week because this is kind of fun.
Patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Kathleen said, why doesn't Gaspar French kiss his wife? So, Joe, now you're married. Remember we talked about on the podcast how like when you're married,
I can
like,
already tell you I'm not going to answer this question, but what?
Like how like people don't like make out and like I don't know. I was like we were talking about I guess one time we were talking about like just making out just for the hell of it. Like I'm not like usually like you make out like if it's gonna lead to something else. Like are you ever just like stop Morgan in the hall, like shove his head against the wall and start making out with him, and then you like see you later? You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this.
That means yes. All right. I don't not make out with my wife. It's just like, I don't know. We're not like making out, I guess. I don't know.
Morgan and I are not overly affectionate people. Never have been. I dated a guy one time that was like a fucking, like, clung on to me. And I was just kind of like, okay.
That's me. I'm like that.
Yeah, no. What?
I'm very over affectionate. Melissa's not.
Like touchy and shit?
Yeah. Melissa would like it if we lived in separate houses. Rachel said, my parents just introduced me to On Patrol Live. Wild stuff police have to deal with. I thought Paw Patrol. It's wild stuff that police have to deal with. Any crazy things you guys have seen in the wild, like Walmart, bars, theme parks? Oh, I live in New York. Every day is crazy.
Yeah, every day is. I even typed in Law Patrol Live and it switched to Paw Patrol Live.
On Patrol. It's like Cops. She's talking about watching Cops.
Right. Wild shit that I've it basically is like a new aged cop.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Have I ever run into like
what's
crazy
like the wildest
shit?
thing you've seen out in the world, I guess?
Well, one of them was with you. You guys, Gaspar and I were back when Gaspar wasn't too good to open for me. He featured for me at a show in Cleveland, and I was in a meet and greet line, and a woman cut in front of another woman, and next thing you know, some woman snapped off her prosthetic leg and was swinging it around, threatening to beat the other woman with her prosthetic leg, and that was fucking insane.
Yeah, that
was insane. That was insane. Shit like that will never happen again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of things, but I gotta think.
Your whole life,
yeah,
like, getting his neck sliced open from your deck.
I forgot that even happened.
Yeah, when you used to have that one job that I don't think we can talk about.
The alligators we used to have, the bird room. You know about the bird room, right?
I don't want to talk about the bird room. The bird room's sad. Next.
But remember I told you that story where he died?
You're off limits. You've we don't know.
Oh,
There's
we
no
can't.
Animals on this podcast.
Anyway, all right, Mike, thank you for this thing. All right, Mike said body modifications from the mildest form to the most extreme, online or offline. All right, before we even answer this, speaking of most extreme, do you remember the Pain Olympics? Uh-oh, the glasses came off. For those of you at home who are listening, the Pain Olympics was like the earliest form of YouTube videos. And it was literally this guy, I don't even know what it was. And he like strapped like firecrackers onto his thing. And then he lit them and blew it up. And like you just watched it online. And like it was horrifying. It was just this guy blowing his penis off. And they called it the Pain Olympics. It was like right along the lines of like 2 girls, 1 cup. I don't know if you guys know that. That was disgusting. But 1 guy, 1 jar. Joe left, and I'm assuming he's still listening and he's just grossed out. So 1 guy, 1 jar was like this guy who like took a jar and put it up his
Oh my God. I leave to go to the bathroom. I come back and he's not only still talking, but now he's talking about jar squatter. Enough. We're not talking
one
about
guy,
jar
one jar.
squatter.
And he put the jar up his butt and then the jar broke. But it was up his
Gaspar,
butt.
this is insane that you're talking about this.
Well, you left. I didn't know where you went. That was a fast bathroom break.
First of all,
did you start peeing while you were sitting?
Can you look something up?
Can
you look something up for me? No, for sure, for real. Can you look up why, when you drink coffee, why does your pee smell like coffee? And when you eat asparagus, why does your pee smell like fucking an undescribable? You can only describe it as asparagus
is digested. Asparagus esophagus acid gets broken down into your sulfur-containing byproducts. Sulfur is a not pleasant smell. The sulfur byproducts evaporate almost immediately, causing you to smell that unpleasant scent.
Okay, what about coffee?
Regularly coffee drinking can lead to a nasty smelling urine. The compound found in coffee may give urine a stronger and more distinct smell. Caffeine is a diuretic, so with excessive coffee consumption, you're producing more urine and becoming dehydrated, leading to a stronger smell. So I will say
I'll argue
this,
that it doesn't smell like pee. It smells like my pee smells like coffee.
I don't know. I don't know. I never smell coffee pee, but asparagus pee I know well. I love it. It smells as like a buttery scent.
Oh my God. You have said a lot of wild shit on this podcast before, but saying not only do I enjoy, not only do I like, to go as far as to say I love the smell of asparagus pee, you are officially the most dirty, disgusting heterosexual I've ever met in my life. Not to mention,
I took the test.
The same man who I had to teach you how to wash your own ass last year, Gaspar. You are a filthy garbage human. I cannot get over the fact that you have made it to 35 years old. What the fuck? This is insane.
It's all that Del Taco.
You are absolutely insane.
You're absolutely insane. Made it this far through BetterHelp. With BetterHelp. No, but I will tell you this. As far as body modifications go, and also all that stuff you said, it's not true. I'm very clean. I just
now.
With body modification, one time I went to a tattoo convention. I watched this girl get a corset piercing. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, blows my mind.
It was wild. Okay, so picture like your back, like where you tie a corset on the back of your back. People get it pierced, like a bunch of holes in your back parallel with each other, and then they put bars in between it to look like a corset going up your back. It's freaky, and my body hurts right now telling you about it. I watched a girl get it.
Or they do all rings, and then they literally lace it up. People do it on their throats too, which is insane.
But absolutely insane. But Joe, I watched a girl get it. Then they hooked her up to a crane
I've seen that.
They lifted her. And she was just floating above the crowd at the tattoo convention.
I've seen that. People get these hooks in their basically fucking meat hook piercings in their shoulders and shit. And then they like hang them from the rafters so they could do like aerial aerobics. It's unbelievable.
Or like the guy who got the surgery where he put the horns in his head. He like cut his head open and like stuffed it. Then you like let it heal, then you cut it again, stuff it, and basically like the scar tissue builds up and it creates horns.
Oh, that's how those horns. I thought they put a prosthetic.
Well, I guess you could do it either way, but you could do it by like putting like dermal plates in your head. But I know there's Google
I'm looking at people with horns right now. So what would I type in to like look at the horn before it goes into your head?
Pre-horn.
And have you ever met a person like with the horns, like actually with the horns?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this person right now who not only has the horns, but their nose, they have like gauges in each of their nostrils and their tongue slit to be like a snake. Look, it's this person. Like this is the tongue slitting is wild. What would I type in to see those horns?
I wrote
before
the
they become your
horn
horns?
before they're put in the head, but now I'm just getting all these people who have horns. Oh,
Yeah, and people get like a
horns.
heart. People get like a heart in their hand and stuff.
Prosthetic horn. But it's not what it's called. Because it's not prosthetic.
It's not prosthetic.
Dermal.
Okay, like, dermal.
Oh, dermal horn implants.
Okay, but like
now,
what
the
hell? Before going in. What are you looking at? I typed before going in and I can't find it. All I see is like
just looking at horn implants, and this is freaking me out. Honestly, guys.
Do you see the implant, or are you just looking at people with it?
No, I'm just looking at people with it in their head.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. Dude, this episode was literally the epitome of our friendship. We talked about so much random ass shit. I hope you guys loved it or hated it or hate us. This is what I want you to do. I want you to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. Tell us a little ditty about, why you listen, why you love us, stuff like that.
Or if you hate us.
Like this one. No friends, no problem. I have listened to this podcast since Joe went viral the first time. Now with Gaspare, the comedy duo is perfection, chef's kiss. As a longtime listener and fan who has been to the shows in person, I feel like these two besties are my friends too. So grateful for the podcast that makes me feel like I have two buddies chatting it up in the car on a drive doing paperwork. Good commentary for any setting. Not so much for children, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Another one, I recently started looking for a podcast that I could just enjoy and have fun listening to, and I stumbled upon this podcast, and let me tell you what, I've never looked back. I listen to you guys every day when I'm getting ready for work, getting ready for bed, and plenty of times in between too. I'm constantly laughing at the banter and often find myself wanting to talk back to you guys. Thank you so much, and thank you for just being you. Y'all are the best. Thank you guys so much. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Also, watch us on YouTube. Oh, and Patreonies. Patreonies, if you're watching right now, thanks for coming through on the Instagram. We love that you did that for us. Do it again on YouTube. Go leave us a nice comment on YouTube. And if you're not there yet, go find us and become a Patreon fan too if you want to at patreon.com/The Social Studies Podcast. Love you guys so much. See me live on the road at thejoedombrowski.com.
And see me at GaspareRandazzo.com. Thank you guys so much. We'll read the rest of these Patreon ones for the next episode because this was fun and we got a lot. So thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.